It was a murder that left the city in shock. A violent carjacking last summer left Portia Pollock dead outside of her home in the 7th Ward. Now, she was a beloved woman by many in New Orleans, and today the man charged in her death, Brian Andre, reached a plea deal with the Orleans Parish DA. Now, that plea deal reduces his second-degree murder charge and does away with a list of other charges. Mike McDaniel has tonight's top story and reaction.
Portia Pollock was known for her passion in helping the elderly as well as bringing people together through music. She was adored here in her neighborhood, making what happened to her so troubling. Just steps away from the front door of what used to be 60-year-old Portia Pollock's New Orleans home, her name etched in cement.
It was a huge loss for everyone.
A reminder of a woman who neighbor Shannon Davies says brought so much life to her 7th Ward neighborhood.
During COVID, she'd go out there and drum every once in a while, and it was a cathartic release for our neighborhood.
Last June, the beloved drummer in Congo Square and therapist was leaving for work when she was carjacked outside her home on North Dorgenois Street. She was stabbed in the chest before her attacker, 48-year-old Brian Andre, drove away in her car.
What he did to Portia was so extremely violent.
With a criminal record dating back to at least 1991, Andre was charged with second-degree murder, armed robbery, possession of a gun by a felon, and obstruction of justice. But in a plea agreement Friday, Andre pleaded to a lesser charge of manslaughter and armed robbery, erasing the other charges.
I felt infuriated.
Davies' neighborly friendship with Pollock made that hard to accept.
That is murder. He didn't accidentally hit her in a car while he was drunk driving. He stabbed her. That is murder. There's nothing manslaughter about that.
The agreement also removes previous charges of armed robbery and possession of a gun by a felon from 2020, which Andre was out on bond for when Pollock was killed. He was supposed to be wearing an ankle monitor at the time, but wasn't.
For far too long,
District Attorney Jason Williams released a statement to Eyewitness News saying, through the conviction via guilty plea of this defendant, we have secured justice for Miss Portia Pollock and her family. This was done to bring them the closure they deserve to this very painful chapter.
She touched a lot of people's lives. She was very valuable.
Valuable and forever etched in the hearts of those who knew her. Manslaughter in Louisiana carries anywhere from 10 to 40 years in prison. The original second-degree murder charge could have put Andre away for life. Sentencing is set for mid-May. Reporting from the 7th Ward, Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.
And so many people in our community have been impacted by crime, especially since the beginning of the year. Now, depending on how you were impacted, this may be tough to revisit, but we do want to hear from you. How has your neighborhood changed? What needs to happen to make our city safer? To do that, we set up a special voicemail where you can give us a call and share your story. And that number is on your screen right now, 504-233-3866.